Prince Charles spent 75 minutes longer than scheduled trying to convince Donald Trump of the dangers of climate change, but the president still insisted the U.S. was clean and blamed other nations for the crisis.
Here's a summary of the article.
Wednesday, 5 June 2019, 9:02 British Summer Time. Prince Charles spent 75 minutes longer than scheduled trying to convince Donald Trump of the dangers of climate change, but the president still insisted the U.S. was clean and blamed other nations for the crisis. Trump told ITV's Good Morning Britain he had been due to meet the Prince of Wales for 15 minutes during his state visit, but the discussion went on for 90 minutes, during which the Prince did most of the talking. Trump said he pushed back at the suggestion the U.S. should do more. Trump says he discussed climate change with Prince Charles, who he believes is a very good person who wants to have a world that's good for future generations. Asked by the interviewer Piers Morgan if he accepted the science on climate change, Trump said, "I believe there's a change in weather, and I think it changes both ways. Don't forget, it used to be called global warming, that wasn't working, then it was called climate change. Now it's actually called extreme weather, because with extreme weather you can't miss." Morgan did not ask Trump about his decision to withdraw the U.S. from the Paris Agreement on climate change. Trump also gave some further views on the conservative leadership candidates, doubling down on his claim not to know Michael Gove despite the fact Gove had interviewed Trump for The Times in 2017.
This post received a score of 92,227, with an upvote ratio of 86%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than blamed other nations for the crisis. Did he acknowledge that there is a crisis?
Unlikely. The right has no problem with cognitive dissonance. They can simultaneously believe that climate change is an international hoax and that it's everyone else's fault for causing it depending on the context.
The Holocaust never happened, and those Jews deserved it. Climate change is fake, it's a hoax invented by China, and at the same time it's all China's fault.
Trump. I remember a time when I would have read a quote like this and assumed it was just full of typos.
Surprised we don't see more use of sick. I feel like as a writer or editor I'd want to push back on such blatant disregard for our language.
That is such a good point. For 4 years I worked at a job writing insurance cases that had to be rock solid, so anytime a claimant or their lawyer had a written typo I had to sick it.
What is sick an abbreviation of?
The Latin adverb sic, thus, just as, in full, sic erat scriptum, thus was it written, inserted after a quoted word or passage indicates that the quoted matter has been transcribed or translated exactly as found in the source text, complete with any erroneous, archaic, or otherwise non-standard spelling. From Wikipedia.
Erroneous, archaic, or otherwise non-standard is Donald Trump's middle name. J for Jesus, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
No, the J stands for genius.
Who speaks like that? What the fuck is this Mickey Mouse shit?
He's been getting worse. Compare anything from his campaign to "they don't do the responsibility."
He is absolutely going senile. I can't think of any other explanation.
Going. The man couldn't recognize, find people 3 feet in front of him during his campaign transition. He is suffering from dementia, thoroughly and completely.
Greater than the man couldn't recognize, find people 3 feet in front of him during his campaign transition. I'm not familiar with this. Have more info?
I don't recall the specific date or circumstance, but he was appointing Giuliani to some position on his transition team, and at a press event announcing it, he was sitting directly across from him and was in the middle of his announcement is like, "And Rudy will be a tremendous asset to, Rudy, where's Rudy?" And Giuliani says something to the effect of, "I'm here, Donald."
Was he so far up Trump's ass he was invisible?
I can feel you, but I can't see you.
But damn, that feels so good. My uncle, very wise guy, nuclear guy, told me the oranges of Republican butt plugs. 35 years ago. Unprecedented.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.